Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeff Mueller, Kenmore East class of 1979, and I'm here for the Bulldog History Channel. And I have the absolute pleasure this afternoon to be sitting with Mr. Doug King, one of our cherished and honored faculty from Kenmore East. I had the honor of being able to spend some time with him back at Kenmore East. But how you doing, Mr. King?
You're very well, thank you.
All right, great to hear. Well, just kicking things off, our first question really is to ask you a little bit about yourself, to introduce yourself. Your name, maybe your age, when you were at school, those types of things.
Do I put this down?
Sure, you
I
can.
Well, I'm 88. I live in Williamsville. I graduated from Kenmore High School, now Kenmore West, in 1956. I'm a math teacher and math department chairman and district chairman.
That's great, and that's where we got together when I was in math class with you.
Yeah,
doing some of our calculus work together.
Oh, so is calculus. Yeah, that's what they.
Yeah, that's great. Well, can you tell us a little bit about your family background? What was it like? Who was in the family? What was it like growing up? Those kind of things.
Well, I grew up in Buffalo and Kenmore. I moved to Kenmore in 6th grade and went to Lindbergh Elementary School. My two sisters and I all went through the district together. There was no cafeteria, so I had to walk home for lunch, and I had to walk back and forth 4 times a day. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad was a carpet salesman.
That's great. It's interesting that you tell me that you used to walk home for lunch. In grammar school, I went to Blessed Sacrament School.
Oh, you did?
And we were called the Walkers. And I usually took my bike because we were a little bit farther, and I would go home and my mom would have lunch ready for me.
Mm-hmm.
I carried my brown bag in many days, but we had the opportunity sometimes to hop on the bike and go home, and I could have lunch with my mom, which was pretty special. So that's interesting. I don't think they do that anymore.
No, I don't think so.
The kids might not come back if they were off the school grounds, right?
Yeah.
Well, how about the path that you took to become a teacher? You're I know one of the favorite teachers of many people that I talked to from my class and the classes around then. So what was the path, or how did you and why did you become a teacher?
Well, I was heavily influenced by Louise Schwabe, a biology teacher at Kenmore High School. Under her guidance, I had an internship with Roswell Park, working with mice and cancer research. I liked the science and was aiming toward a career in science and teaching, but I had a horrible teacher and nearly failed physics, so being a science teacher was impossible. But I made a good start in math in college. On my way home from Roswell, I was riding the bus and someone made me get off at the next stop, which was UB. I went right to the math department chairman and asked to be admitted to the program. I was able to finish my courses and graduated with a math teaching degree.
That's great. So not really enjoying science quite as much as what gave us the opportunity to learn so much great math with you at Kenmore East.
That's nice summit. That's a very summary statement. That's very good.
Well, and I certainly remember, even beyond the math and the problem solving that we did together, it was just always a warm classroom and a very inviting classroom, and a fun classroom. You made learning fun, and that's part of my memory. Was not even just the equations and the formulas and the things that we broke down together, but it was always a pleasure to come to class with you and to spend time with you. And that's why I took all the AP classes and everything and continued, to the more advanced levels.
Well, that's so rewarding to me. I just am really all tingly about thinking that I had such an effect with you.
Oh, absolutely. And I do know many others. It certainly helped me and led me toward a a very rewarding career in analytics and technology, which there's a lot of math and problem solving that goes on in all of that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you think back to the time you were at Kenmore East, who were some of the faculty or administrators that were there that you remember and that you interacted with during that time?
And that's Mr. Frazier, Al Witzig, and Al McGammo.
I got you, yeah. And I know Mr. Witzig, Kevin Lavello and I just spent some time together, and Mr. Witzig was, he remembered him fondly. Yeah, now going back, I'm class of '79, so now we're going back into the '70s and certainly the '80s, maybe a little bit before. What was it like teaching at Kenmore East at that time? Maybe what were the students like? What was the atmosphere like, or the environment like with the kids that were there during your time?
When I started, the teachers were very polite and friendly. I had to wear a tie throughout my entire career. The first year I started, taught, you had to wear a suit jacket, but later in my first year, you could take off your jacket. Everything got chalk all over it. You had to be suitably dressed for assemblies and lunch. Teachers had smoking lounges and separate areas for the men and the women.
Wow, so times have changed a bit since then. Interesting. Yeah, when my son was at college, I think he bought his first suit coat because he got a job. And he needed to wear that a little bit when he was going into his office, and certainly for the interviews. But I think some of the later generations don't probably have quite as many suits as we used to.
No.
Oh, and how about some of the students in the '60s and the '70s? Because that's quite an earlier time. Certainly than maybe some that are going to see our interview. What was it like with the students in the '60s and the '70s and the atmosphere there?
Okay. The students in the '60s and '70s were polite and friendly, extremely honest, no fights, no jeans, mostly collared dress shirts, skirts, and dresses for the girls. Most classes had to be 25 minimum with a maximum of 35. The graduating classes were 700. The students ate lunch separately for the most part. Boys in one and girls in another cafeteria.
Wow, so they even broke, it wasn't a co-ed cafeteria back then. They broke it up with the girls in one area and the boys in the other area. Wow, very interesting. Well, thinking back of specific instances and sort of history related to your KE days, how about a couple of thoughts on that from your perspective, Mr. King?
In college, I was active and an officer in the ROTC. That summer, after I graduated, I got a notice I had to appear and have a physical getting ready for the draft. Surprisingly, on the first day of teaching at Kenmore East, the draft board called the school, and they in turn called me to let me know that I had been drafted.
Wow.
It was a mistake, as teachers could not be drafted, but a very scary time nonetheless. The Kennedy assassination and MLK, there was a feeling of togetherness. In school, there were long moments of silence for each. During the UB riots of 1968, heard the clashing and noise during summer school classes. There were serious thoughts of canceling summer school, but instead, police presence was increased.
Wow. Yeah, so that goes back to the days of Kennedy and Martin Luther King. And I even remember my wife works at the University of Buffalo, and I remember her referencing the UB riots from history and from what took place there, back during the late '60s and early '70s. So some very interesting times that you're able to witness. How about some outstanding math students that you may still see? Anybody that stands out to you and you'd like to talk about a little bit?
Oh, yes, of course. Yep. Arlene Frederick, who was a student a long time and math teacher in the district. Don Cruikshank was a student and a long time social studies teacher and a great friend. Ken Winger was a student, became a math teacher, and has reconnected recently. Dick Harned and Bill Fleischauer, students and longtime teachers, are still friends.
Wow, and those all names that
That was very well done.
those are all names that I absolutely remember too.
What? Oh, did I not say it? Did I skip it?
Goodrich and Markson. No, they aren't written down.
Oh,
Why don't you
okay.
say Mr. Goodrich and Mr. Markson?
Mr. Goodrich and Mr. Markison were good friends, guidance counselors, and I saw them socially through being retired.
That's great, and again, all names that are very recognizable to me. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, very
So-
important names in the history of Kenmore East. Anything about your fondest, memory, from Kenmore East? Anything in particular? Or?
Well, I created and ran the Booster Club, which ran the concessions at the sporting events. I chaperoned and planned dances and was instrumental in planning the proms. Outside of school, I was active in prison ministry for 25 years with Kairos, participated in Koinonia Fellowship. I helped create the Plymouth Crossroads House in providing housing to homeless young men and women who have done Meals on Wheels in the Tonawondas for 30 years.
Oh, that's great. That's and that's interesting. As I spoke with Jim Dunnigan in one of our earlier interviews, and he had said many similar things to me, that so many of the teachers lived in the community. They participated in the community, not just teaching the kids at the school. And that's just incredible, all the things that you took the time to really contribute to and put your time and energy into. And I was sort of jumping the gun a little bit there, so I apologize. But how about a thought on maybe some of your fondest memory, some of the things that you were very fond of back during those days?
All of it. It's fellow teachers and administration. All were just delightful. Every day was a privilege.
That's great. That's great. And I think we feel the same about going to your class, Mr. Kate. Absolutely. How about greatest achievement? Is there any one you could call out at Kenmore East?
Tell future students to work hard, pay attention, be polite. Above all, be honest and have faith. I have wonderful children and a wife and have achieved much with faith.
That's great. I think they're very important things that I think people will enjoy listening to. I think that's pretty sound advice that I think hopefully they should put down in their books as they continue to move forward. And I really appreciate spending the time. Usually our closing question, and not trying to catch you off guard or anything, but we talk a little bit sometimes about Bulldog spirit. What do you from going to Kenmore East and experiencing the teachers and the program that was there, you tend to take something of being a Bulldog with you everywhere that you go when you come through Kenmore East. I mean, do you have any thoughts on being a Bulldog or Bulldog spirit?
No, I was very active in going to all aspects of school life, and being in Booster Club and working that way were so meaningful, and it made me keep up with what was going on because the students communicated with me so readily.
That's fantastic. So really, don't just show up for math and English and social studies. Take advantage of the activities and the clubs and all the great the sports, the additional aspects that can turn you into a very rounded individual. That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Mr. King. And as we say when we're closing, this is Jeff Mueller, class of '79 for the Bulldog History Channel. And we always say, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog.
Okay.
All right.